Welcome to Coffee with Kyle, where we sit down with students over a cup of coffee or tea or water and talk about who they are. I'm your host, Kyle Dodge. If you don't know me, I am the Web and New Media Coordinator here at RCSJ, which is a fancy way of saying that I handle the social media and take some photos at the Cumberland campus. Our special guest today is Tyrell.
Hello, Kai. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
I'm swell. I can't complain.
That's good. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 20. Turned 21 in December, which is pretty cool.
That's a good age to turn.
I work at ShopRite in Millville.
Okay.
I do the deli stuff, so I cut meat and cheese all day.
Okay.
Not fun, but who cares?
So outside of work, what are some of the things you like to do?
Honestly, not much. I got a puzzle table the other day, so I just put it on my bed or whatever, dump a puzzle on there, hold up to 1,500 pieces.
Oh, okay.
So I've just been doing puzzles. I did a 750 piece puzzle. I did that in 2 days. I have a 500 piece puzzle that I'm doing right now. After that, I don't really do anything, and then I go to the gym.
Okay.
And I like lifting heavy stuff.
Okay.
So I do that, and then I'll visit my grandma once or twice a week. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, so you're big into working out. You go into the gym like you mentioned.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about your routine, what you do there, what you like to do, and stuff like that.
I used to go to Planet Fitness all the time. Whatever.
Okay.
I was doing a little bicep here, back here,
Right.
stuff like that. But I really wanted to get into free weight stuff where because Planet Fitness is good, but they have Smith machines, so you can't really bench by yourself. You have to bench with the help of a Smith machine.
Okay.
So I just got a membership at the Inspira, right actually across the street.
Oh, okay.
So I got there, and I've been working out there, and I do my buddy's program. He plays baseball in Virginia.
Okay.
His name is Nate Goranson.
Okay.
He gave me his program. I've been doing that or whatever, and it's actually giving me, because I was on a diet where I was dang near starving myself. I was like, I can't do that. I'm a big kid. I got to eat.
Right.
So now I eat whatever I want, but I also do this program or whatever, and it's getting me stronger or whatever. And I finally hit the last time we talked, we had I was telling you about my max, and my max was 295 back then. I beat that by 20 pounds.
Oh, man.
So my new max is 315, and then I had never maxed out on squat before. So I did squat. I was curious. I knew my legs were strong, but I didn't know how strong they were. So we did. He was like, "Yo, let's go squat real quick." I was like, "All right, bet." You go in. I hit 425 on the squat. So that's just gonna build from here. And so when he comes back in December, we're gonna test our maxes again and see if we got stronger, stuff like that. So yeah, I love lifting now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So have you ever struggled with motivation going to the gym?
100%. I was going to the gym when he was here. He visited from August 2nd to 21st. So we were going to the gym or whatever. And when he's here, he doesn't let me get off, scot-free. He'll show up at my house, pick me up, and he's like, "Yo, we're going to the gym right now."
Okay.
So when he's gone or whatever, I gotta be like, all right, now it's on me to do that. He's not here to pick me up or whatever. So
you gotta do it internally.
Exactly. So for a little bit, I wasn't going, and then we did a thing where it's a consistency challenge, because over winter, I don't know why, I started working out October 2020, but for some reason 2020 winter and 2021 winter, I just stopped working out. I have no clue why. Okay. I just get comfortable with it being cold, me staying in.
Sure.
I get comfortable. I don't go to the gym. So we have a consistency challenge where I have to go at least once a week, 10 times a month, and 50 times between September 1st and December 22nd.
Wow. Okay.
And if I go less than 50 times, then he wins. If I go more than 50 times, I win. If I go exactly 50 times that, then I have to try to beat my maxes from before.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's really cool that he's made this challenge for me, and I have to
you guys to live up to it
exactly,
as well.
exactly.
Now is there a reward at the end of the challenge, or is it just a personal
Well, for me it's personal, but he wants to put a reward at it because he wants to make it seem like I'm working for something. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just if I lose, I have to buy him something.
Okay.
Buy him pre-workout or post-workout kind of stuff.
Okay.
And same vice versa. If I win, he buys me something.
Gotcha.
So I don't really want him to buy me anything if I win.
Yeah.
But I know he will, because he's like that. He's that kind of person.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a personal level, I hate working out, and it's always a motivation. It's always convincing myself I gotta work out. What would be some tips of overcoming that?
See, it's so hard because motivation is really an inner thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find your own motivation to go to the gym. So my motivation I went to the doctors May 2021, I think it was.
Okay.
And as soon as I stepped on the scale, I was 326 pounds.
Okay.
The nurse in there was like, oh my. Like, she was like, I was like, all right.
That hurts a little bit.
Yeah, that hurts a little bit. And then I go in and the actual doctor's talking to me. I'm going there about like flat feet and there's like spots on my chest or whatever.
Oh.
So I take my shirt off to show him and he's like, oh, it's because, he doesn't talk about the spots at all. He's like, oh, you're overweight. You need to lose weight. I was like, all right, come on. Like, I didn't even come here to get
for that.
For you guys to ridicule me about my weight. I came for actual problems with my body. And then from May 25th on, I just started losing weight. And then, I got down to 239 October 19th. And then once again, winter hit. I stopped. Mm-hmm. And then I think I got up to around 280 again. Okay. And then I lost it again, got down to 236. Yeah. And I stopped for a little bit because I got a tattoo. So I can't work out with it,
Oh, right. Yeah. You gotta be careful with that.
I stopped that. And then I started back going with my friend Nate. And now I'm back going for the challenge that we have going on.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so lots of ups and downs there, of course, but yeah, getting that internal motivation, I think is...
People ask me all the time, how do you get motivated? What do you use? It's honestly just in yourself. Yeah. If I can help you with like calorie deficit kind of thing and just burn more calories than you eat. That's what I can help you with. But I can't help you with motivation because that's on you to motivate yourself to get up and like, all right, let's go work out for an hour. Let's go, even if it's just walking on the treadmill for 60 minutes. Who cares? You got up and went out to the gym. You should feel better about yourself. Okay. But you just got to find that motivation in yourself. I can't help you with that. You have to help yourself with that.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Now this buddy of yours, you went down to visit him not too long ago.
Yeah,
right?
in May. Okay. So he plays in Virginia, Williamsburg, Virginia. Okay. He had a home stretch against Delaware, and it was like one of the bigger conference matchups or whatever because they needed to win to be in the playoffs. Okay. They needed to win at least 2 to be in the playoffs, and they played them all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I go down there. I don't tell him that I'm coming down. Oh, shoot. And I see him. He sees me. He's like, oh, you're here. And it's funny because in summer of 2021, I went down to see him. I surprised him or whatever, and he did like. He said he won't be mad that I say that he did terrible.
No.
He went 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, and a pop-up.
So he like jinxed him.
Yes. So when he sees it, he goes, you're here. Mom, you remember the last time what happened? And he surprised me. And we're like, all right, come on. So he didn't do that bad. He went like 1 for 3 or whatever. He'd had a pretty solid game that day. So that was nice, and then we hung out, went to some Mexican spots. I met his teammates, met his roommates, worked out with them. Okay. So that was all really cool. Nice seeing him. And then then I didn't see him, and then he came back in August.
Very cool, man. Yeah. That's awesome. That sounds like a fun trip.
It was very fun.
So you live in Millville. You went to Millville High School, right? Yes. So did you have tell me about your high school experience. Was it good? Did you have fun? Did you have a lot of,
So weirdly enough, I was never scared. Like, I know some people are scared because it's a different school to go to a different school. I was never... The only grade I was really scared to go in was 5th grade. And that was it. That's all. Okay. So I was totally comfortable going in high school, freshman, sophomore. My freshman year was probably the hardest because it is a new school, but I wasn't scared to go in it, but it was still hard as, learning different. It's a big high school. I got to walk around trying to find all my classes don't all have the same people anymore.
Right. So every class is different.
I'm meeting new people all the time. Yeah. But after that, it was real smooth. I wish I did play football. That's like my only regret in life is not playing football all 4 years. And I only played my senior year for a couple games, and I was always really good at football, but I lost passion after my parents passed away. Yeah. So I just didn't play football all my 4 years, and I finally played senior year, which turned out to be really fun. It's not that's why it's my only regret kind of thing.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Sure. Do you have any teachers that really helped you out? Teachers that you had a good relationship with?
This guy, I had a lot of teachers that really helped out with stuff, but just one guy named Jason Kessler. He was my gym teacher of 9th grade year.
I had Kessler.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like,
he's a cool guy.
He really is. So he took me under his wing, ninth grade. I had a ninth grade gym, and I don't think I was in his gym class 10th grade, but I think we shared, like, his gym class and my gym class were in the same, like, gym at the same time. That makes sense.
Right, because they do that where, like, you might work out together, like, do your warm-ups, and then one team or, like, one class will go outside, one stays in, or split
So we were always together. And then I was like, I really wish you could come over to senior high with me, because Memorial is only 9-10, senior high 11-12.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really wish you'd come over to senior high with me, because you're the only person that I can talk to, who I feel like I could talk to about, my problems or whatever, because, I've been going, he knew everything, because my parents had already passed by then. Yeah. He knew everything, basically.
Yeah.
So then he pulls me in 10th grade one year, and he goes, remember when you said that you wanted me to, follow you throughout? He goes, I was like, yeah, why are you telling me that? He goes, well, I got the vice principal job at the senior high. I was like, wow. Oh, snap. So he basically followed me throughout my whole career, which was amazing, because I always had that one person I knew I could talk to. He was always there for me or whatever. If it was sports or just school or somebody, that's just that person to talk to. He was always there.
Wow.
And I still sometimes, we follow each other like on Instagram and Facebook. So every time I post like an update about like what I'm doing or whatever, he always like comments on it and likes it and stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, I had him for a teacher in like, I think it was like 10th or 11th grade. Yeah, he was a cool guy back then. Yeah. So that's awesome. So you're big into reading mystery books.
Now, yeah.
Okay.
So I started reading this author. Her name is Natasha Preston.
Okay.
And she's a UK author or whatever.
Okay.
And so some of the slang I don't understand, because it's,
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
But she has I think I have 8 books by her.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was on like a binge where I was reading like a whole bunch of books. Okay. And I think my favorite one by her that I read was called The Cellar. And it was about this guy who was obsessed with flowers.
Oh.
And he kidnapped 4 girls and named them different flowers. It was rose, lily, poppy, and violet.
Okay.
But if the girls would act up, he would kidnap them. He would call them by their fake name. Their name would be like, say their name was Sandy. He'd be like, oh, you're Lily. They're like, no, I'm not Lily. He goes, yeah, you're Lily. And he'd grab them and take them to the cellar.
Oh man.
But his cellar was all made nice. It was painted. It looked like a nice living spot.
Okay.
And you wouldn't think like some person would do that. There's a room with 4 bedrooms where all the girls lay, and they have a schedule where he comes down like 8 a.m. Everything, they need to be showered, makeup done, all that by 8 a.m. He's a very clean person. If something's out of spot, he will, he'll be mad, and sometimes he'll snap and kill you. I don't know.
Oh wow! Oh wow! That's extreme.
Yeah, it is very extreme. But then outside of this, you think he's just this like I think he's a lawyer or accountant guy where he's just like living a normal life.
Oh my gosh.
And then, but his secret is he's keeping 4 girls in his basement.
Yeah.
And they're each by a fake name, and this one, her name was, I think she was named Lily.
Okay.
And her real name was Summer, but she got the flower name Lily, and that's what this main book is about.
Yeah.
And it's a great book. I think I read it twice. And the first time I read it, I was so into it that I read it in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, read it, woke up, showered or whatever, and just started reading. And ate. I think I would read while I was eating, read like whatever. I was reading it, and it was such a good book. But that author, Natasha Preston, makes really good books. I'm on this one where it's called You Will Be Mine.
Okay.
And it's around Valentine's Day, so they think it's a joke, but it's actually this person who's using magazine cutouts of like letters and stuff, and they're sending it in the mail.
Okay.
And there's one who said like your heart will be mine, and the next thing you know, she kills him and takes his heart out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like she's like this person. I don't know if it's a she. I'm just saying that.
Right.
But it's like this person's messages are literal.
Literal. They sound like they're like a poem,
like a joke
kind of thing,
because it is around Valentine's Day.
Sure. Yeah.
So they sound like haha, this person's just joking, but they literally mean what they say in these notes. And I'm like halfway through that. I'm not finished yet, but yeah.
Wow, that sounds intense. I mean that dynamic's really cool.
Yeah, and it's like always like oh, it sounds like it could be a good movie, but sometimes, you know, books don't turn into good movies.
Yeah.
And, you know, me personally, I haven't seen a case like that, but I've heard people be like, yeah, I don't know if it'll be good as a movie. I think it'll just stick as a book.
I think that's tricky. I think it's like people can't appreciate the difference between the
Yeah.
formats. And like with a movie, you only have so much time.
Right.
And in a book, you can go in way more.
Right. I never read the Harry Potter books, but somebody that was talking to me about it, they were like, the difference between like some scenes, some book scenes were different than the movie scenes.
Right.
It's like you can put yourself in a book kind of thing. Like you can be like, it's like, especially the books that I read.
Yeah.
The chapters are named after the people in the books. So this book, the Cellar book, it would be like a chapter called Summer, and I could put myself in Summer's shoes, like, oh, this dude's crazy.
Okay.
And then it would go to a boyfriend, and put myself in her boyfriend's shoes, like, I'm looking for my girlfriend right now, like, what's this going on? And then it would go to the guy, I forget his name, or his name is Clover.
Okay.
His real name isn't Clover, but I think it's like a 4-leaf clover kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think, maybe I'm thinking too much into this, but like a 4-leaf clover, he's Clover, and his 4 girls are I don't know.
But no.
It makes sense, but like, I don't know if I'm overthinking it kind of thing.
No. I mean, people do that, like that subtle messaging
Exactly.
thing.
So
Yeah.
I'm putting myself in that spot. Like, I don't want to put myself in his shoes. I never want to do that, but.
Well, I know what you mean. You want to envision the character. You don't want to become the character.
Yeah, exactly.
But you want to be like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I really like reading her books and stuff like that. So.
Speaking about having your face on buses, you've been on a few of our billboards and ads and stuff like that. Tell me a little bit about what that's been like.
It's been, so at first, because I knew I was going to be on the billboard. Mm-hmm. I was talking to, I think her Andrea, I believe.
Andrea, yeah.
Yes. I knew she told me when I was going to be on it. It was like early March to late May, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to be on that. It was real fun. I took some pictures in front of it, posted on my Instagram, posted on my Facebook. Got a lot of love for that. But after that, I didn't know anything I was going to be on. Like, I was on, like, your guys' Twitter. I was on, the school webpage. It was, like, me in my navy blue shirt, and then me that day. And that was that. I was on the website, Twitter. Then I get mail. I'm like, my friends are telling me, showing me things. Like, I'm at work for all these things. So I'm finding out from my friends. And I'm on brochures. And then one day, my friend, me and him are cool, but we don't really talk. His name's Dan Bear. He texts me a picture, and he goes, yo, you're in the mall now. I was like, what? And then I open the message, because all I see, because I'm at work, and I put my phone out, and all I see is, yo, you're in the mall now. I was like, what? No, I'm not. I'm at work. So I opened the message, and it says attach one image. I was like, what? And now I'm in the mall. Like, it's like my picture, like with my headphones on, and the mall's like, what is going on right now? So the next day I was off. I went to the mall, I took a picture in front of it, and there was nobody around. And there was this older lady saying she was eating her Auntie Anne pretzels or whatever, and I hated to bother her, but there was nobody else around.
Right.
And I was talking to someone, I said, I would have rather had like a younger person because they know how to take pictures or whatever.
Sure.
So she's sitting down, and I was like, ma'am, is it okay if you take this picture of me? She's like, I'm like, that's me over there on that little sign thing. She goes, really? She's like, you have a phone? I said, yes, ma'am. She goes, question, if you're on there, why are you in here? I was like, well, I go to college, and I've been on a couple stuff, I've been on billboards, commercials, that kind of stuff. She goes, oh, wow. She's like, well, they're smart because you're a good-looking guy. I was like, thanks.
A little flattery goes a long way, right?
Exactly. So she takes a picture, I post it, and I get a lot of love for that. But honestly, it's not overwhelming. It's really funny because, like I said, I don't know anything. And then I get another text from one of my friends. He says, yo, you're on the side of a bus now. I was like, what? Open the picture. It's like, are you, like, what is going on right now? So, like, and it's like, I don't know what I'm going to be on next. I don't know if I'm going to be on something, whatever. But, yeah. It's been actually really pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm glad.
It's always nice seeing like people in public, especially when I'm at work. Like, oh my God, Tyrell, I've seen you on here or on there. I was like, well, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you get that sort of feeling that your friends send you that stuff.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm glad they do, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know.
Right. So, outside of work and your hobbies and stuff like that, do you have any plans for this weekend or anything like that? Anything exciting coming up?
No, like I'm more of a go with the flow kind of guy.
Okay.
So say if like one of my friends would hit me up like, hey, I want to come out. Sure. I mean, but I don't really go out. Like I haven't. Like there's some kids who like are partying people who like will go out to like day parties and night parties or whatever, and that was me summer 2020. But I did all that. It was the same thing every party where people were just standing around playing Pong or whatever.
Right.
I got over it. So now I just stay in my house and do puzzles. I mean, I'd rather do that or like watch YouTube or even now I like watch SpongeBob a whole bunch. I don't know why, but I do.
There you go. So, it's all good. It's your way of relaxing or de-stressing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be my last question. Is there any other story or anything else you want to tell some of our watchers or anything like that that's come up?
No, not really. Just a big shout out to like all the people that have been on my side, and especially like the Crockett's, to Patty and John for letting me move in with them at especially one of my hardest times, and because I wasn't in the best situation from 13. Well, after my mom passed, my mom passed when I was 13, and my dad passed 9 months later. Then I had to move in with my neighbor who. I'm not gonna bad talk anybody, but it just wasn't the best situation for myself.
Right.
And then they let me move in when I was 18, and it's been all positive things ever since then. So definitely big shout out to them, and a big shout out to my friend Nate and his family, and definitely all the people who have been by my side and have shown support since day one. So
that's awesome to hear, Tyrell.
Yes, 100%.
Well, that's it for our show. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.